God works through every circumstance to bring about His divine purpose in your life. There is no moment, no situation, and no event that falls outside the scope of His power and plan. Even in the midst of chaos, confusion, or pain, God is at work, weaving together the threads of your life to create a masterpiece that reflects His glory. Understanding this truth transforms how you view the trials, challenges, and unexpected turns you face. It reminds you that nothing is wasted in God's hands and that every circumstance can serve a greater purpose when surrendered to Him. One of the most profound aspects of God's work is His ability to take what seems broken and turn it into something beautiful. What others see as failure or setback, God sees as raw material for His redemptive plan. The story of Joseph in the Bible is a perfect example. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph endured years of hardship. Yet, in every season of his life, God was working behind the scenes. The very circumstances meant to harm him became the stepping stones for his elevation to a position of great influence. Joseph's declaration, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good," reminds us that God's plans are never thwarted by human intentions. Even when you face situations that feel overwhelming or insurmountable, God is present and active. He uses difficulties to build your character, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for what lies ahead. Challenges are not a sign that God has abandoned you, but rather an indication that He is refining you. Like a potter shaping clay, He molds you through the pressures of life, ensuring that you are equipped for the purpose He has for you. What feels like a breaking point is often a breakthrough in disguise, a moment when His strength becomes evident in your weakness. God also works through circumstances to deepen your trust in Him. When life is smooth, it is easy to rely on your own abilities and plans. However, when faced with uncertainty or adversity, you are reminded of your dependence on God. These moments of surrender draw you closer to Him, teaching you to lean not on your own understanding but on His wisdom and guidance. Trusting that He is in control, even when you cannot see the outcome, is an act of faith that opens the door for Him to work mightily in your life. Another way God works through every circumstance is by using them to redirect you. Sometimes you may find yourself on a path that seems right, but is not aligned with His will. In His mercy, God allows circumstances to close doors, interrupt plans, or create detours that guide you back to the path He has ordained. What feels like a disappointment is often divine protection. The Apostle Paul experienced this when the Holy Spirit prevented him from preaching in certain regions, only to later lead him to Macedonia, where a great work awaited. God's redirections are always for your good and His glory. God also uses circumstances to reveal Himself to you in new and profound ways. In moments of need, He shows Himself as provider. In times of fear, He becomes your comforter. In seasons of confusion, He is your guide. These revelations of His character deepen your relationship with Him and remind you that He is not distant or detached, but intimately involved in every detail of your life. Each circumstance becomes an opportunity to experience His faithfulness and love in a tangible way. Furthermore, God works through your circumstances to impact those around you. Your response to life's challenges can be a powerful testimony of His grace and power. When you endure trials with faith, hope, and perseverance, you inspire others to trust God in their own lives. Your journey, with all its ups and downs, becomes a living testament to the truth that God is faithful and that He can bring good out of any situation. Your life becomes a beacon of hope, pointing others to the One who holds all things together. It is important to remember that God's work is not always immediately visible. Like a seed planted in the ground, the work He is doing beneath the surface may take time to manifest. Patience and faith are essential as you wait for His plans to unfold. Even when you cannot see the evidence, trust that He is working all things together for your good and His glory. His timing is perfect, and His plans are always better than anything you could imagine. In every circumstance, God's ultimate goal is to draw you closer to Him and to fulfill His purpose in your life. Whether through blessings or trials, victories or setbacks, He is constantly shaping you, teaching you, and positioning you for His glory. When you view your life through this lens, you can face any situation with confidence, knowing that God is at work. Nothing is wasted, and no moment is meaningless in His hands. He is the master planner, and through every circumstance, He is bringing about His perfect will for your life. Divine timing is perfect. It is not bound by human understanding, limited by our perception, or constrained by our impatience. It operates on a higher plane, guided by God's infinite wisdom and knowledge of the past, present, and future. Often, we find ourselves wanting things to happen according to our own schedules, rushing to see outcomes or striving to make plans unfold as we desire. But divine timing reminds us that God's plans are not just good, they are perfect. They unfold at precisely the right moment, ensuring that we are prepared to receive them and that they fulfill His purpose in our lives. One of the most challenging aspects of divine timing is learning to trust it, especially when the waiting feels prolonged or the journey seems uncertain. In those moments, it's easy to grow frustrated or doubt whether God is truly at work. Yet, the waiting is not a sign of inactivity on His part, it is a season of preparation. God often uses the time before His promises are fulfilled to refine us, strengthen our faith, and equip us for the blessings to come. The waiting period is not wasted, it is intentional and full of purpose, even if we cannot immediately see it. God's timing often defies human logic. What appears to be a delay to us is in fact a calculated step in His perfect plan. Consider the story of Lazarus in the Bible. When Lazarus fell ill, Jesus delayed going to him, and Lazarus died. To those around him, it seemed like Jesus had waited too long. But when Jesus arrived and raised Lazarus from the dead, it became evident that the delay was part of a greater plan to reveal God's power and glorify His name. This story reminds us that what looks like a setback is often a setup for something greater. God's timing brings results that far exceed our expectations. Patience is a virtue that divine timing demands of us. It requires us to surrender our desires for immediate answers and trust in the process. In the moments when you feel like you've been waiting too long, remember that God sees the bigger picture. He knows what lies ahead and what needs to align for His plan to fully manifest. Sometimes He is orchestrating circumstances beyond what you can see, aligning people, events, and opportunities to ensure that everything is ready for the appointed time. Trusting in divine timing also requires faith in God's character. He is faithful, loving, and infinitely wise. He does not withhold good things from us out of neglect or indifference, but rather out of a deep understanding of what is best for us. He knows when we are ready to receive what He has for us, and His timing ensures that we are fully equipped to steward the blessings He provides. What may seem like a delay is often God's protection or preparation, ensuring that we are not overwhelmed or unprepared for the responsibilities that come with His gifts. Another beautiful aspect of divine timing is how it aligns with our purpose. God has a plan for each of us, and His timing ensures that we fulfill it. Sometimes we rush into things prematurely, driven by impatience or fear, only to find that we are not ready or that the opportunity is not as we imagined. When we wait on God, however, He opens the right doors at the right time. These moments are unmistakable. They bring peace, clarity, and confirmation. They remind us that His timing is not only perfect, but also perfectly aligned with His will for our lives. Divine timing also teaches us to rely on God rather than our own understanding. In a world that values speed and immediate results, waiting on God is an act of surrender and humility. It acknowledges that His ways are higher than ours and that His perspective is eternal. This reliance deepens our relationship with Him, drawing us closer as we learn to trust His guidance and provision. It shifts our focus from the temporary to the eternal, reminding us that His plans are always for our good and His glory. When divine timing unfolds, it often brings a sense of awe and wonder. The pieces of the puzzle fall into place, and you see how God has been at work all along. What once felt like confusion or delay now makes perfect sense in the light of His purpose. These moments strengthen your faith, reminding you of His sovereignty and His ability to bring beauty out of every situation. They reinforce the truth that God is never late, He is always on time, and His timing is always perfect. In the end, divine timing is a testament to God's love and wisdom. It challenges us to trust Him, to wait with patience, and to believe that He is working all things together for our good. It reminds us that we are not in control, and that is a good thing because the one who is in control loves us deeply and knows what is best for us. As you wait on Him, hold on to the promise that His timing is perfect, and when it is fulfilled, it will bring blessings beyond what you can imagine. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to God's divine plan for your life. It is not merely an abstract belief, but an active, living force that aligns your will with His purpose. Faith is what allows you to trust in His timing, His methods, and His promises, even when circumstances seem to contradict what He has spoken. It is the foundation upon which His plans are activated and realized in your life, for without faith, it is impossible to please Him or to fully step into the destiny He has prepared for you. Faith begins with trust, a deep, unwavering confidence in God's character and His ability to fulfill His promises. When you believe that He is who He says He is and will do what He says He will do, what He says He will do, you position yourself to receive His guidance and blessings. Faith does not demand evidence or immediate results. Instead, it chooses to believe in what is unseen and to hold firm even in the face of uncertainty. It is this trust that activates His plan, allowing Him to work in and through you according to His will. Faith requires action. It is not enough to simply say you believe. Faith must be demonstrated through your choices, words, and deeds. James reminds us that faith without works is dead, emphasizing that true faith is accompanied by tangible steps of obedience. When you act on what God has instructed, even when it doesn't make sense, you show that you trust Him more than your own understanding. This act of obedience is often the catalyst for His plan to unfold in ways you could never imagine. One of the most profound aspects of faith is its ability to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on obstacles, faith helps you see opportunities. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, faith enables you to recognize what God has already provided. When you operate in faith, you begin to view challenges not as barriers, but as stepping stones toward His greater purpose. This shift in perspective is essential because God often uses the very things we fear or resist to shape us and prepare us for what lies ahead. Faith also sustains you in the waiting season. God's plans often require patience, as His timing is perfect, but rarely aligns with human expectations. In these moments of waiting, faith becomes your anchor. It reminds you that delays are not denials and that God is working behind the scenes to orchestrate every detail of His plan. Faith gives you the strength to endure, the courage to keep moving forward, and the assurance that He will bring to pass what He has promised in His time. Faith invites God into the impossible. Throughout Scripture, we see countless examples of individuals who activated God's plan through their faith. Abraham believed that God would make him the father of many nations even when he and Sarah were beyond childbearing age. Moses trusted God to part the Red Sea, despite the seemingly insurmountable obstacle before him. These acts of faith were not based on what was humanly possible, but on the belief that with God all things are possible. When you exercise faith, you create space for Him to perform miracles and to accomplish what only He can. Faith also requires surrender. To activate God's plan, you must release your need for control and submit to His will. This is often the most challenging aspect of faith because it requires letting go of your own plans, timelines, and desires. But surrender is not a sign of weakness, it is a declaration of trust. It is saying, God, I believe your plan is better than mine, and I choose to follow your lead. When you surrender in faith, you open the door for His power to flow freely in your life. Another key component of faith is perseverance. God's plans are rarely fulfilled overnight, and the journey often includes trials and setbacks. Faith gives you the resilience to press on, even when the path is difficult. It fuels your determination to keep believing, keep praying, and keep trusting. Perseverance in faith is a testament to your confidence in His promises and your commitment to see them come to fruition. Faith also impacts those around you. When you live a life of faith, you inspire others to trust God as well. Your testimony of believing and acting on His promises becomes a beacon of hope for those who are struggling. Faith is contagious, and when others see the evidence of God's plan unfolding in your life, they are encouraged to activate their own faith and step into His purpose for them. Ultimately, faith is the bridge between God's promises and their fulfillment. It is what connects His eternal plan to your earthly reality. When you choose to walk by faith and not by sight, you align yourself with His will and position yourself to receive the fullness of His blessings. Faith activates his plan, not because it changes him, but because it changes you, your mindset, your actions, and your ability to receive all that he has prepared for you. Your purpose is not just a random aspiration or a fleeting desire. It is a divine assignment carefully crafted by God before you were born. It is the reason you exist, the unique contribution you are meant to make in this world. What is even more extraordinary is that your purpose is protected by the one who gave it to you. No force, no obstacle, and no adversary can derail God's plan for your life unless you allow it. This assurance of divine protection empowers you to pursue your purpose with confidence, knowing that what God has ordained, he will sustain. The protection of your purpose begins with God's sovereignty. He is in complete control of all things, including your life and destiny. Before the foundations of the world were laid, he envisioned your journey, your gifts, and the impact you would make. Every step of your path has been accounted for, and every detail of your purpose has been secured. This sovereignty means that no circumstance, no mistake, and no opposition can thwart his plan. When you trust in his control, you can walk boldly, knowing that his hand is over every aspect of your life. Your purpose is also protected by his promises. Throughout Scripture, God assures us that his plans for us are good, that he will never leave us, and that he will bring to completion the work he has begun in us. These promises serve as a shield against doubt and fear. When challenges arise and it feels like your purpose is under attack, these promises remind you that God is faithful. He does not abandon what he has started, and he will see you through to the fulfillment of your calling. Another layer of protection for your purpose is found in your identity in Christ. You are not defined by your failures, your past, or the opinions of others. You are defined by who God says you are, his beloved child, fearfully and wonderfully made, equipped for every good work. This identity anchors you in truth and shields you from the lies that try to disqualify you from pursuing your purpose. When you embrace who you are in him, you gain the confidence to move forward, knowing that you are chosen and capable. The challenges and setbacks you face are often a part of the protection process. While it may not feel like it in the moment, every trial has a purpose in shaping you for your assignment. Some delays are divine, meant to prepare you or protect you from stepping into something prematurely. Some obstacles are designed to strengthen your faith, build your character, or redirect you toward a better path. What seems like opposition is often God's way of refining you and ensuring that you are ready for the next step of your purpose. Your purpose is also protected by God's timing. He knows the perfect moment for every door to open and every opportunity to manifest. While waiting can be difficult, it is in these seasons of waiting that God does some of his most profound work in you. He prepares your heart, aligns your circumstances, and ensures that everything is in place for you to step into your purpose at the right time. Trusting his timing is an act of faith that acknowledges his wisdom and care. God often uses relationships and community to protect your purpose. He places people in your life who will encourage you, hold you accountable, and help you navigate the challenges of your journey. These individuals serve as reminders of his presence and his plan. At the same time, he may remove relationships that are detrimental to your purpose. While this can be painful, it is a sign of his commitment to guarding your destiny. He will not allow anything or anyone to hinder what he has called you to do. Prayer is a powerful tool for protecting your purpose. When you stay connected to God through prayer, you invite his guidance, strength, and protection into every area of your life. Prayer aligns your heart with his will and gives you clarity and peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. It is through prayer that you gain the assurance that he is working all things together for your good and that no weapon formed against you will prosper. The ultimate protection of your purpose lies in God's unchanging character. He is faithful, trustworthy, and omnipotent. His love for you is relentless, and his plans for you are unstoppable. When you align yourself with his will and commit to walking in obedience, you tap into a divine protection that transcends human understanding. This does not mean the journey will be without challenges, but it does mean that every challenge will serve a purpose in your growth and fulfillment. In the face of opposition, distractions, or doubt, remember that your purpose is not just about you, it is part of God's greater plan. He has invested his power, his promises, and his presence in ensuring that you succeed. When you stay rooted in Him, walking in faith and obedience, you can rest assured that nothing can derail what He has ordained. Your purpose is protected, and with that assurance, you can move forward with boldness, resilience, and unwavering trust in the one who holds your destiny. Nothing can stop God's plan for your life. This statement is not merely a declaration, it is a truth rooted in the sovereignty and omnipotence of the Creator. When God designs a purpose for you, no human limitation, no failure, no opposition, and no circumstance can derail it. His plan is anchored in eternity, and it is set into motion by His power and wisdom. Understanding this truth transforms the way we approach challenges, setbacks, and even our own doubts. God's plan is sovereign, unshakable, and beyond the comprehension of human minds. When we say that God's plan is sovereign, we affirm that it is supreme, absolute, and independent of any external factors. It is not influenced by human opinions, circumstances, or even the obstacles that seem insurmountable to us. His plan exists within the realm of eternity, guided by His infinite wisdom and power, and is carried out with precision that no human effort or opposition can derail. God's sovereignty means that He holds ultimate authority over every aspect of existence. From the movements of galaxies to the beating of your heart, nothing escapes His control. This truth is a source of immense comfort because it reminds us that life is not a random series of events. Your journey, your challenges, and your victories are all woven into the fabric of a divine narrative authored by God Himself. He is not a passive observer, but an active participant, ensuring that His purpose for you unfolds according to His will. One of the most remarkable aspects of God's sovereign plan is that it remains steadfast even in the face of human failure. Often, we carry the weight of our mistakes, believing that they disqualify us from fulfilling our destiny. However, God's plan is not dependent on your perfection, it is dependent on His grace. Your shortcomings do not catch Him by surprise, nor do they have the power to cancel His purpose for your life. In fact, He can take what was meant for harm and turn it into something that propels you toward your destiny. His sovereignty ensures that even your failures are repurposed for your good and His glory. God's plan is also not limited by circumstances. You may look at your current situation and feel that it is impossible to see progress or breakthrough. But God's sovereignty transcends the boundaries of human logic and natural limitations. When He declares something over your life, no amount of opposition or adversity can prevent it from coming to pass. His power is not bound by what you see, and His purpose is not dictated by the opinions or actions of others. Even when the path seems unclear, you can trust that God is orchestrating every detail to align with His perfect will. This sovereignty also teaches us the importance of surrender. Understanding that God's plan is supreme invites us to let go of our need to control everything. As humans, we often resist uncertainty, striving to create outcomes that align with our desires or timelines. But when you recognize that God's plan is sovereign, you begin to release the weight of trying to make everything happen on your own. Surrendering to His will does not mean passivity, it means actively trusting that His way is better, even when it doesn't align with your expectations. Another profound aspect of God's sovereignty is His perfect timing. His plan unfolds in ways that are often beyond our understanding, but always align with the fullness of His purpose. You may experience delays that feel frustrating or seasons that seem stagnant. But God's timing is never late. What appears as a delay to you is often divine preparation. He is aligning people, circumstances, and resources to ensure that everything falls into place exactly as it should. When you trust His timing, you learn to rest in the assurance that He is never in a hurry but always on time. God's sovereign plan also reminds us that His purpose is irrevocable. When He speaks a promise or declares a destiny over your life, it is established. No opposition, no weapon, no force in heaven or on earth can nullify what He has spoken. His word is eternal and powerful, accomplishing exactly what it was sent to do. This truth empowers you to face life's challenges with confidence, knowing that no matter what comes your way, God's plan remains intact. Even in seasons of uncertainty or suffering, God's sovereignty is at work. It is often in these moments that we question His plan, wondering why we face trials or hardships. But His sovereignty ensures that nothing is wasted. Every challenge, every tear, and every setback are woven into the greater story of His purpose. He sees the end from the beginning and uses even the most painful moments to shape you, refine you, and prepare you for what lies ahead. Ultimately, the sovereignty of God's plan assures us that our lives are not subject to chance or chaos. When you align yourself with His purpose and trust in His guidance, you walk in the certainty that you are moving toward a destiny that is not only secure, but also far greater than anything you could imagine. His plan is rooted in love, executed with wisdom, and sustained by His unchanging nature. No obstacle, no failure, no force can stop what He has ordained for your life. Trusting in His sovereignty gives you the courage to face each day with hope and the assurance that His purpose for you will prevail. Life is full of obstacles, challenges that seem to block the path to our dreams and aspirations. At first glance, these obstacles can appear daunting, frustrating, or even insurmountable. However, when viewed through the lens of purpose and faith, they reveal themselves as opportunities for growth. Every obstacle you face is not meant to stop you, but to stretch you, shape you, and prepare you for what lies ahead. It is through these moments that your character is refined, your faith is deepened, and your capacity for success is expanded. Obstacles are the proving ground for growth. They test the limits of your patience, resilience, and determination. While it may feel easier to avoid or retreat from challenges, doing so often stunts personal and spiritual development. Growth is not found in the comfort zone, it is found in the place where you are stretched, where you confront your fears, and where you push beyond what you thought was possible. Each obstacle you overcome becomes a stepping stone to greater strength and maturity, equipping you for the next level of your journey. One of the greatest lessons obstacles teach is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. It is not a trait you are born with, but a quality developed through perseverance. Every time you face an obstacle and refuse to give up, you strengthen this critical attribute. Resilience allows you to endure seasons of difficulty without losing sight of your purpose. It reminds you that setbacks are not the end of the story, but a chapter in the larger narrative of your life. Obstacles also serve to reveal hidden strengths. Often we underestimate what we are capable of until circumstances demand more from us than we believe we could give. When faced with challenges, you discover resources within yourself that you may not have tapped into before: creativity, problem-solving skills, and even courage you didn't know you possessed. These moments show you that you are stronger and more capable than you imagined, instilling confidence and empowering you to take on future challenges with greater assurance. Moreover, obstacles provide clarity about your priorities and purpose. When you encounter resistance, you are forced to evaluate why you are pursuing a particular path. Are you doing it out of genuine conviction or merely for convenience? True purpose withstands the test of adversity. If an obstacle causes you to realign your focus, it may be a divine opportunity to refine your goals and ensure they align with your core values and calling. These moments sharpen your vision and deepen your commitment to what truly matters. Challenges also cultivate humility and reliance on God. While human effort and determination are essential, some obstacles are beyond your ability to overcome alone. These moments teach you to depend on divine guidance and strength. When you acknowledge that you cannot do it all by yourself, you open the door for God to step in and do what only He can do. Obstacles remind you of the necessity of faith and the power of surrender. They bring you to your knees so that you can rise stronger, not by your own strength, but by the strength of the one who sustains you. In addition, obstacles often lead to unexpected opportunities. What initially looks like a closed door may redirect you to a path that is even better suited for your growth and success. Sometimes challenges are divine interventions designed to steer you towards something greater. When you approach obstacles with an open heart and mind, you begin to see them as opportunities disguised as detours. Trusting that every challenge has a purpose allows you to embrace them rather than resist them, knowing they are part of a bigger plan. Another powerful truth about obstacles is that they build empathy and compassion. When you face difficulties, you gain a deeper understanding of the struggles others endure. This shared experience fosters connection and strengthens your ability to encourage and uplift those who are also navigating tough seasons. Your testimony of overcoming challenges becomes a beacon of hope for others, reminding them that they too can persevere and thrive despite adversity. Ultimately, obstacles are not meant to defeat you, but to develop you. Each challenge is a tool in the hands of the Creator, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Without obstacles, growth would be stagnant and purpose would remain unfulfilled. These moments of struggle are where perseverance is forged, faith is tested, and breakthroughs are born. When you view obstacles as opportunities, you transform your perspective and position yourself to grow through every trial. So when you encounter challenges, embrace them with a spirit of determination and faith. Recognize that every obstacle is an invitation to grow, a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. Remember that nothing worth achieving comes without resistance, and it is often through the hardest battles that the greatest victories are won. Trust the process, lean into the lessons, and allow every obstacle to propel you toward the fullness of who you are meant to become.